Hello X-Factory friends and family, this is Paul Sinclair with another voice-over video. Today we're going to be watching A main number 2 from the recently passed Cactus Classic in Phoenix, Arizona. This is of course the first Cactus that was held indoors on slick tires on a high bike track. And if you'd watched A main number 1, which is on our YouTube channel, you'd know that Cavalieri won from the 2 spot. Now Cavalieri won A main number 1 with a bit of what we often call pudge luck, which is really just Cavalieri keeping his nose clean and letting everyone else wreck around him. Specifically, TQ Ty Tessman had some bad luck in the first after an early wreck. However, that was a bit strange as Ty had TQ'd all 4 rounds of qualifying, and you knew that he was on a mission to take this A main number 2 and secure a good chance of winning the third one and taking the overall. So right off the start here, Ty's going to run some of the fastest laps of the weekend, and I have to say his Hot Bodies prototype car looks really, really good. It's just super stable. It looks easy to drive. Ty's not doing anything crazy. It's just carrying a lot of corner speed and working for him. Looks super silky through those jump sections into the step on, step off here. You know, everyone else's car kind of wanted to tip and roll over on that step on, and Ty just looks smooth. He looks under control and unruffled. And so really, I mean, in the first couple laps here, like I said, he throws down some really fast laps and starts to pull a gap on Ryan Cavalieri right from the start. Look how smooth he is through that step on, step off. And then Chaz is going to go here and find a battle, and we're going to find up to the second spot is Lee Martin. Lee Martin in that Yokomo buggy. Lee was an interesting case through the weekend at Cactus Classic because he was very, very fast in practice. In fact, they seeded the seeding rounds, which was a little strange, but they seeded the seeding rounds based on fast lap in practice, and Lee Martin was on top of the boards. In the first round of qualifying then, Lee ran a 4 overall, which is certainly a really good, top 5 time, gets you settled. But he fell off from there. In round 2 he ran a 7, and in round 3 he ran a 44, which is uncharacteristic. He didn't break, he finished the run, but it was a poor showing. And I don't know what Lee changed, but he got his act back together for round 4 qualifying and put another 4 in. The 2 4s gave him 8 points, and I think he was 5th on the grid, 4th or 5th. And here he is up to that 2 spot. And he really seems to have refound some form from those early practice sessions because he's able to stretch out a little bit of a gap on Cavalieri. A small mistake after the triple allows Cav to catch back up. But Lee is really showing good pace in that Yokomo car. Right behind him, of course, is Cavalieri, and we all know Cav is gunning for another A main. He wants to wrap it up. He was able to win A main number 1, and he's shooting for that A main number 2 win. What do you say? I don't quite like, though, the look of Cav's car, and it's really impressive to me how well he's driving, and it's a testament to his driving ability, because I just don't think his car looks as good as some of his competitors around the track. What I mean when I say that is watch kind of the rear suspension. Of course, he wrecks out, and we'll have to see him a bit later. But, all right, on Tessman's car, again, just look how smooth and under control it is. The car doesn't seem to bounce around, whereas if we look at Cav's car again here, as he comes back into frame racing with Mayfield, the back end of his car is just hopping. There are small little ripples and bumps in the track that his B5 is not handling as well as Tessman's Hot Body prototype car is. We're going to see here for most of the rest of the race here, we're a little over halfway through it, we now have Jorn Newman, who is up from, I believe, the 8th spot on the grid to the 3 spot. And Cav is going to close up, and we're going to see a really good battle between Jorn and Cavalieri. It's interesting because I was talking with JP Richards in my last voiceover video, and JP was being followed by Jorn Newman in that video, if you remember, and we talked about how much pressure Jorn puts on the people in front of him. Well, in this case, Jorn had a bad A main number 1. He finished 11th. I don't know if he broke or just had a bad race. But now it's Cavalieri that's going to close up on the back door of him and put pressure on Jorn. It's kind of the opposite, It's one thing to be able to chase people really, really well and put on that pressure, but it's a whole other issue when Cavalieri's breathing down your neck and you have to hit your lines and drive smooth and consistent. And so here we see, like I said, I just don't think Cav's B4 looks all that planted. It doesn't look easy to drive, but he is doing a heck of a job wheeling it. Of course, Cav is one of the best drivers in the world. He's proven that time and time again. But Jorn Newman is going to try to see if he's up to the task of holding Cavalieri off through these final laps. Cav is right on his back bumper. Cav's taking such tight lines through that off camber. Through the jump section we go. You can see Jorn gets a little sketchy. It looks like he shorted the triple a little bit, but he saves it and holds on. Great car positioning to shut the door on Cav, and down the straightaway once more they go. Cav taking a tighter line off the straightaway. That little hump at the start-finish line was flatter on the outside of the track, and so Jorn's taking a wide line, which I think he's hoping gets him a little more speed because it doesn't throw the car as much. But as we're closing in, you can see Cav through the infield is just catching right back up and right on Jorn's bumper. And through the final lap we go. Cav just as tight as ever, tight through that 180, through the off-camber, looking to the inside. Jorn's just shutting the door left and right. Perfect job by Jorn over the triple, sending his car in, pitching it sideways through the switchbacks on the right-hand side of the track and up over the double. Here comes Cav, seeing if there's anything there, but Jorn has done a perfect job and held on for that second-place finish. Tessman taking the win and would take the overall. Thanks for watching, guys.